Hello and welcome to another episode of Minimize Regret. In this episode, I want to talk about something that's kind of been on my mind a little bit, and a question that I really had to do a little bit of research and ponder a bit, which is honestly more than I do for most of these videos. Most of the videos I'm just kind of spitballing, and this one isn't going to be any different, but I did have to look up some definitions. And the question is trauma necessary for growth? Now, the first question really for me is, what is trauma? And there's definitely physical and emotional trauma, and really what I came away with is trauma implies a certain amount of damage, whether it be emotional or physical. And after thinking about it for a while, I really do think trauma is necessary for growth. And there is a certain amount of a brewing time or a steeping time for damage or problems where you just have to be damaged and then slowly recover. And it's actually possible to recover too well or too quickly. And this is something that's kind of big in the strength training world. It's actually not recommended that you take ice baths directly after lifting because you could potentially stunt hypertrophy. Like, in many ways, whenever you lift weights, you are damaging your muscles and you're causing a certain amount of trauma, although not a high level, that you then need to recover from. And if you try to shortcut the recovery process, the normal one, by doing something like an ice bath, you can actually heal too fast and not allow the full effect of the changes that would have happened to take place. And I really do feel like things are similar emotionally, and this may be a somewhat controversial opinion, but I think you definitely do need to feel a certain amount of pain, otherwise you will never be able to grow. And I do think you probably don't want that pain to be excessive, and you don't want it to be something that you hold on for years and years. And just a side note, if you do feel as though you have trauma in your past that you still haven't dealt with, I highly recommend reading the book The Body Keeps the Score. And to me, this book is very engaging, and it's also super hopeful despite the terrible stories in it, because it really shows how people can and do heal from trauma that is years and years in their past that has stunted their life. But I think part of this with me talking about emotional damage is, like, it really is good and okay to feel things. And this is something that I often struggle with. I'm like, oh, it's fine, whatever, I just deal with it and just go on about it. But it's okay to feel that anger, it's okay to feel the sadness, it's okay to feel the pain and recognize it for what it is, and maybe even a somewhat detached manner, as you might practice in meditation. But I think just by recognizing something and letting it sink in a little bit and acknowledging that it exists is actually important, so that you can learn from whatever caused that. And this is another fact about learning. To learn anything, like, there has to be a certain amount of struggle. Like, if everything was easy for us and everything came natural, we knew how to do everything, we would retain nothing, because there would be no struggle. And this is something that I really need to internalize, because, like I said, I tend to just brush things off and maybe not even learn from them as much as I could, because I'm thinking, well, no matter what happens, I'm fine. Like, emotion doesn't really matter. And, like, in some sense, like, if you have a certain responsibility, your emotions don't matter. You just have to do certain things. But I do think by recognizing your emotions and making sure that you are damaged sufficiently is actually important to learn and grow from your experiences. So yeah, let me know what you guys think, and I'll talk to you guys in the next one. Peace.